esta importante actividad académica, queremos solicitar a todos los asistentes mantener la seriedad The purpose of this competition is to improve students' English speaking skills, promote critical thinking, and encourage confidence when expressing ideas in public. Through this experience, students have the opportunity to communicate meaningful ideas and participate actively in topics that matter to them. Before we begin, we would like to introduce you our distinguished panel of judges. Ms. Jimena Figueroa San Martin, English teacher and coordinator of the American Space at the Universidad de Tarapacá, an educational and cultural initiative supported by the Embassy of the United States in Chile. Mr. Cristian Fontanes Lara, English teacher at Arica College and adjunct professor of the Universidad de Tarapacá, where he teaches advanced English and English teaching didactics. He is also an active member of the Ministry of Education's English Open Doors program, working as a specialized teacher trainer and contributing to the professional development of English teachers. We sincerely thank our judge. And Ms. Julia Koroskova, English teacher at the Universidad of Tarapacá. We sincerely thank our judges for accepting our invitation and sharing their expertise with our students. We would also like to acknowledge Mr. Cristian Mendoza Peña at North American College, who will serve as our official timekeeper during this competition. Please give them a warm round of applause. Today's competition will be divided into two categories. Category 1, first and second grader students, and Category 2, third and fourth grader students. Participants will be evaluated according to a specific rubric. All participants will have a maximum presentation time of 30 seconds to 3 minutes. our timekeeper, will monitor the allotted time for each speaker. At the end of all presentations, the jury will deliberate and determine the highest scoring participants in each category. We would also like to inform our audience that today's event is being live streamed through the official North American College digital platforms. We will begin now with the first category. We invite our audience to listen carefully and support our participants with a warm round of applause. Please welcome our first participant, Antonia Jofre Ahumada, primero medio C.
Good afternoon, members of the jury and audience. My name is Antonia Jofre, and today I'm going to talk about friends and relationships and how they're such an important part in our lives. Have you ever had a really bad day and then one person makes everything feel a little better? Maybe with a simple message, a hug, or just by listening to you. I think that this is the true meaning of friendship and relationships. Being a teenager is not always easy. Sometimes we feel stressed, sad, insecure, or misunderstood. School can be difficult, we can have personal problems, or sometimes we do not even understand our own emotions. Having someone by your side can make a huge difference. A real friend is not only there for funny moments like laughing together or taking pictures. A real friend supports you, respects you, listens to you, and stays with you when things are getting difficult. Good relationships help us feel loved, safe, and important. I think communication is one of the most important things in every relationship. When people speak honestly and listen to each other, problems become easier to solve. Trust and respect are also very important. Without them, relationships can become unhealthy and painful. I have also learned that no relationship is perfect. Sometimes couples misunderstand each other and people make mistakes. That is normal, but when people truly care about each other, they try to fix problems, forgive, and improve together. Healthy relationships help us grow emotionally and become stronger people. Today, social media is also a big part of friendship and relationships. Apps like Instagram, TikTok, or Snapchat help us stay connected with others. But social media can also create jealousy, insecurity, or misunderstandings. People often compare themselves to others online. That is why real conversations and honest feelings are still very important. Personally, I believe that feeling heard and valued by someone can completely change a person's mood. Small actions like asking you, "Are you okay?" or saying, "I'm here for you," can completely mean a lot more than we imagine. To finish, I want to say that we should appreciate the people who truly care about us, and we should try to be good friends to others. A healthy relationship is not about being perfect. It is about caring for each other, understanding each other, and growing together. Thank you very much for listening.
Thank you very much for that meaningful speech. Now, please welcome our second participant, Felipe González Soto.
Is social media good or bad? Hello, members of the jury, teachers, and audience. My name is Felipe Gonzalez, and I have a question for you. Think about this. How much time do we spend every day on social media? In my case, I scroll for 4, 5, even 6 hours every day, especially at the night, because we cannot use the cell phone at the school. I use apps like Instagram, Facebook, and TikTok, YouTube. It's a big part of our lives, but it is good or bad. On one side, it's great. You can talk to your friends all day, share funny videos, and feel people who like the same things you like. But the other side, it can be bad. It's very easy to waste hours on the phone, care too much about likes, and feel sad comparing your life to others. It's also bad that there are cases of cyberbullying, encouragement of suicide, and online insults. On the other side, it's also far too easy and unrestricted for young people to access sexual content. We need to be smart when we are online, protect our friends from cyberbullying, and know when it's time to phone down and enjoy the real world. In conclusion, social media can be good or bad, and that's up to you. Let's try to use it the best way possible. I hope you had a good time, and thanks for your attention.
Thank you very much for your words, Felipe. Now, please welcome our third participant, Nadia Diaz Correa.
Good afternoon, members of the jury and dear audience. My name is Nadia Diaz, and today I want to talk about a very important topic, mental health in teenagers. In the past, people didn't talk about this, but today we know that our mind is as important as our body. Being a teenager is difficult because we face many changes at the same time. We are not children anymore, but we are not adults yet. And this transition can create a lot of pressure in our daily lives. Many teenagers today suffer from stress, anxiety, or depression. But why does this happen? First, we have academic pressure. We have so many exams, homeworks, and projects. Second, there is an influence of social media. We compare our lifestyle and our bodies with the perfect photo what we see in Instagram or TikTok. Finally, bullying is still a serious problem that affects the self-esteem of many students in the school. So, how can we identify a mental health problem? It is not always visible like a broken arm. Some signs are feeling tired all the time, losing your interest in your hobbies or sport, or changing your eating habits, or just feeling sad and lonely for a long time. If you feel like this, you must remember a very important phrase. It is okay to be not okay. You don't have to be perfect all the time. So, what can we do to feel better? First, you should try to talk with someone you trust, like your parents, a teacher, or your friends. Second, you need to take a break. Disconnect from your phone and spend time in the nature. Or just listen music. Also, sleeping well is fundamental for your health. You need to rest at least 8 hours. Finally, you don't be afraid to seek professional help. Seeing a psychologist is a brave decision, not a sign of weakness. In conclusion, mental health is a priority, not a luxury. Thanks for your attention.
Thank you very much for talking about that important topic. Now please welcome our fourth participant of today, Benjamín Silva Cerda.
Good afternoon, members of the jury, dear audience. My name is Benjamin Silva, and today I want to tell you about something that is part of our everyday lives, social media. Apps like Instagram, TikTok, and X are used by millions of people every day. We use them to communicate, watch videos, share photos, and learn new things. But an important question remains: is social media good or bad? In my opinion, social media can be both positive and negative, depending on how we use it. It has many advantages, but it also has serious problems that we should not ignore. First, social media is good because it helps people stay connected. Families and friends can communicate even when they live far away from each other. For example, during the COVID-19 pandemic, many students use social media and online platforms to continue learning and talking with classmates. Without these apps, many people would have felt lonely and isolated. Another positive example is how social media can spread information very quickly. Young people can learn about the world in seconds. Social media also give small artists the opportunity to become popular without needing television or newspapers. However, social media also has negative effects. One major problem is mental health. Many people compare themselves to unrealistic photos and lifestyles online, which can lower their self-esteem. Some teenagers spend too much time scrolling through apps and become stressed, anxious, or insecure. Because of this, we must be careful about what we believe or what we share. In conclusion, social media is a powerful tool that depends on how we use it. If we use it responsibly, it can help us learn, communicate, and grow. But if we use it carelessly, it can harm our mental health and relationship. The key is balance and responsibility. Thank you for listening. Me saltó una.
Thank you very much, Benjamin. Now, please welcome next our fifth participant, Javiera Barros Salvador.
Good afternoon, members of the jury, teachers, and dear audience. My name is Javiera Barros. Have you ever feel alone even when you were surrounded by people? Or maybe you had a friend who made a difficult day feel a little better just by listening to you. I think most of us have experienced that at some point. That's why today I want to talk about friendship and relationships and how they can affect our life more than we sometimes realize. Friendship is one of the most important parts of being human. Friends are the people who support us, laugh with us, and stay with us during good and bad moments. A real relationship is not about trust, respect. It's not about popularity, money, or looking perfect. It's about trust, respect, and honesty. Relationships, in general, are also very important. They can be with family, classmates, teachers, or romantic partners. Every relationship teaches something. Some relationships help us grow, while others can teach us difficult lessons about respect and communication. Nowadays, many relationships happen online. Social media help us connect with people, but sometimes it also creates pressure. People compare themselves to others and think that every friendship or relationship must look perfect. But real relationships are not perfect. People misunderstand each other, make mistakes, or argue. What matters is communication and honesty. For example, imagine having a bad day at school. Maybe you fail a test or argue with someone. A good friend can make a huge difference. They may not solve the problem, but simply listening can help you feel less alone. In my opinion, that kind of emotional support is extremely valuable. I also think friendship becomes stronger when people accept each other for what they truly are. We cannot expect people to always understand us if we never communicate. Small actions like listening carefully, apologizing when necessary, or spending time together can improve relationships a lot. We should not feel afraid to express our opinions, emotions, or personality of a real friend. Healthy relationships should make us feel safe, respected, and appreciated. Personally, I believe that a strong friendship can change people's life. Sometimes one supportive person is enough to give someone confidence, hope, or happiness. Even a small lack of kindness can have a big impact. To conclude, friendship and relationships are essential because they help us grow emotionally and feel connected to others. The main point is treat people with kindness, respect, and honesty, because meaningful relationships can truly make a life better. Thank you for your attention.
Thank you for your words, Javiera. Now, please welcome our next participant, Tiare Ballestrello Munizaga.
Good afternoon, the members of the jury, teachers, classmates, and ladies and gentlemen. My name is Tiare Ballestrello, and I'm a ninth grade student. And today, I would like to talk about technology in our lives, especially about the cell phone law in schools in Chile and how it has affected education. As we know, technology is part of our daily lives. We use it to communicate, study, or learn new things. Cell phones help students search for information, contact their families, and use educational applications. But technology can also create distractions when it is not your responsibility. For this reason, many schools in Chile start applying stricter rules about cell phone use in classrooms. The goal of this law is to improve concentration and reduce distraction during lessons. Before these rules, many students spend time on social media or cheating instead of paying attention in class. As a result, learning became more difficult. Besides the restriction we introduce, many teachers have noticed positive change. Students participate more in class, communicate better with classmates, and focus more on school activities. In some cases, grades and attitude have improved because students are less distracted. But not everyone agrees completely with the law. Some people think cell phones can also be useful educational tools if they are used correctly. Students can use them to translate words, organize homework, or translate or simply use. Others believe that banning phones completely doesn't teach responsibility. Personally, I think the law has good points and bad points. Technology is not the problem. The problem is how we use it. Schools should teach students to use technology in carefully and responsibly way. To conclude, the cell phone law in Chile has helped many students focus better in class, but it has taken away the opportunity for students to use technology to use technology better. Let me ask you something. What do you think about this topic? Think about it based on your own experience, based on these times when you didn't have your cell phone to answer your questions, but rather had to go to a library and open a book to find the correct answers. Does technology actually help students to answer students learn better in school, or does it damage their learning process? Thank you so much for listening.
Thank you very much for your words, Tiare. Now, please welcome our next participant, Fernanda Garrido Lopez.
Hacia abajo. Good afternoon, members of the jury, teachers, and everyone present. My name is Fernanda Garrido, and I am from first grade C. Today, I want to talk about something that is very present in teenagers' daily lives: social media. Nowadays, social media is an important part of many teenagers' lives, and almost everyone uses it daily. These apps have changed the way people communicate and spend their free time, and many teenagers spend several hours online every day. Because of this, social media can have both positive and negative effects depending on how people use it. One positive effect is communication. Teenagers can stay connected with their friends even when they are not together in person. Many people use social media to send messages or talk with friends after school. This can help people feel more connected to others and makes it easier to keep in touch during the day, even when they are busy or far away. However, one negative effect is that some teenagers spend too much time online and stop paying attention to school or stop sleeping enough. Spending many hours on social media can become unhealthy and affect daily routines, responsibilities, and even people's concentration during the day. Personally, I think social media has positive and negative sides. In my opinion, the problem is not social media itself, but the way people use it. I believe social media can be something positive when people use it responsibly and know how to balance it with other parts of their life. In conclusion, social media is a big part of teenagers today, and it will probably continue being important in the future. For that reason, learning how to use it in a balanced way is very important. When people have limits, social media can become a more positive experience. Thank you so much for your time and attention.
Thank you very much for your speech, Fernanda. Now, please welcome our next participant, Eleonei Vargas.
Good afternoon, members of the jury, their teachers, and their classmates. Today, I want to talk about something that is part of almost all of our lives, social media. Platforms like Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, and YouTube have changed the way we communicate. We can send messages, share photos, learn new things, and connect with people around the world in just seconds. Social media can be a very useful tool when we use it correctly. One of the biggest advantages of social media is communication. Families and friends who live far away can stay connected every day. It also helps students learn information quickly through videos and tutorials. Many people use social media to express their creativity by posting music, drawings, photography, or videos. Another positive aspect is that social media can spread awareness about important problems in society. People can support charities, help others during emergencies, and share information about mental health, climate change, and equality. However, social media also has negative effects. One major problem is addiction. Many teenagers and adults spend too many hours online and forget to focus on the school, work, or real-life relationships. Another issue is cyberbullying. Many people use social media to insult others because they feel protected behind a screen. This can seriously affect personal confidence and mental health. In addition, social media sometimes creates unrealistic expectations. Many people compare themselves to edited photos and perfect lifestyles that are not always real. This can cause stress, insecurity, and anxiety, especially among young people. In conclusion, social media is neither completely good nor completely bad. It depends on how we use it. If we use it in a responsible way, it can help us learn, communicate, and grow. But if we use it too much or in the wrong way, social media can affect our mental health or relationships. We should use social media in a balanced and responsible way. Sorry. Thank you for your attention.
Thank you very much. Now, to begin with the second grade high school students, please welcome Naim Meri Diaz.
Hello, members of the jury, companions, contestants, audience, and judges. Today I am here because I want to talk to some important issue. I want to talk about mental health. I will talk about this more generally, not in teenagers, not in adults, because this is a problem we all have, you know. I cannot delete it from the older ones or the younger ones. I want to talk it more general. I want to make my presentation a little slower too, because I want to make it easy to understand. First, I can ask you a question. Have you do something you regret? Well, it really affects your mental health, doesn't it? It's a very bad thing. But it turns horrible when regret turns into rumination, when your mind walks in and says, what did I say? And you start to do a quick reality check, realizing you do something wrong, you do something bad, and you feel awful. But we are human beings. We can surpass that things that we lived already, you know? Because that's what we do. We learn. We are not animals. We are humans. So please, don't take any dumb decision like hurting yourself or quitting your own life. That's horrible. You know, carrying a heavy regret is like driving a car while looking only to the rewind mirror, because you will always have to crash. Well, in this case, you will have to crash out. You will have to feel rage, or you will feel sad. So please, I want to tell you all, be better with yourself for your own sake, because if your past self travels to the future and see you like this, he will be very embarrassed of yourself if you are passing through a bad moment. And I want to make a quotation about what did we are perfect. What if we are perfect? That will not have grace, you know, because we commit errors, and that's good, because we can surpass it. As I said before, we are human beings. And with last of all, I will put a final string to this presentation. Be better with yourself, please. As I say, for your own sake. Thank you so much for the attention.
Thank you very much, Naim. Now, please welcome our second participant of the second grade high school students, Constanza Castro Marca.
Okay, before anything, let's start with a simple exercise, shall we? I just want you to close your eyes for a moment and just imagine you're 12 years old, it's 5 a.m., and the temperature is below freezing, and the wind cuts like a knife. You're in there for adventure. You climb a mountain of mud, stone, shivering, and clutching to an old cell phone against your chest. And you do this every single morning, not for adventure, just to catch one bar of signal, just to hear your teacher's voice through a static. Now everybody can open your eyes. Good afternoon, judges, teachers, and everyone present. My name is Constanza Castro, and today I can represent Revolutionizing the Heights. For thousands of children in the Andes, this is not a metaphor. This is the little price they pay for a 40-minute class. We have normalized this. We see other stories and applaud, and we say, oh, how inspiring. Oh, look at the resilience. But today I ask you to stop romanticizing their suffering. The fact that a child has to become a survival hero just to learn how to read is not an inspiring story. It's it's not an inspiring story. It's the reflection of our collective indifference. But let's look at numbers. According to the 2024 census, in Parinacota, more than 60% of young people leave their towns or drop out of school. Today, there are schools with only 3 students. Think about that. 3 students alone in a classroom. The countryside is emptying because families are forced to choose between their roots and their future. And we didn't make them choose. Who can blame them for wanting a future? So, what's the solution? Does anybody has an idea? Because let me tell you this, it's not enough to put just a Wi-Fi in an empty classroom. And you know what? I thought about it, and I said, so why we don't bring the city things to the countryside? We must bring tools like coding, robotics, and digital business. Let's use them there. Let's not teach them technology so they have to leave to a city office. Let's teach them technology so they can transform their own homes. Let's teach them to use sensors to protect their waters, to open climate data, to open their crops from the frost, and to open online shops to sell to the entire world. That is true progress. If we do this, the magic happens. Young people stay, our traditions live on, and the rural schools become beacons of our hope and technology. Let's stop asking our children to just climb a mountain to catch a signal. Let's build a future right where they are. Because up there, when the air is thin and the dreams deserve to fly just as high as anyone else's. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Constanza. Now, please welcome Matías Cerda Villarroel.
Hello, how's everybody doing today? Dear audience and members of the jury, looking good today, I love you. Now, first of all, I decided to pick something out of the usual. It's about my hobby. You better know me and you gotta know that I love Godzilla. But you may be asking why? Well, it has many meanings. Well, first of all, when I mention Godzilla, what's the first thing that comes to your mind? Yeah, thank you for answering. Anyways, if you ask me, personally I think that Godzilla can have many meanings, so I can't just say one. Therefore, that's why I love it, because it's such a versatile character. Now, what if I told you that you can be like Godzilla? You can become Godzilla. Not in height, but you may be wondering how, why, or am I crazy? Well, the last thing is real, but yeah. So, first of all, let me tell you something. In 1954, Tomoyuki Tanaka, a Japanese man, presented a film idea to the film studio of Japan, Toho. He presented the idea of a giant monster that was based on his intense fear of atomic weapons after the atomic bombings of World War II. You know, Hiroshima, Nagasaki, probably miss of story, you know, his. Anyways, he presented the idea and the Japanese loved it, just like here. They called it Gojira, but obviously the West hates everything, so they call them Godzilla. The thing is that many people just agreed to the immense fear of atomic weapons and they simply love the film. That's why it's been 71 years. I love you, Godzilla. Now, the second thing, in the late 70s, Godzilla was turned into a hero by the decision of Toho to attract the children audience, you know, everyone loves him. The thing is that he protected Earth and every single living being on it from other giant monsters, known in Japanese as kaiju. The thing is that you can be a hero of your own population. Everyone can see you like Godzilla, like a hero. That's something that I love about him, as you can see yourself in him. Probably you'll do it after this, or who knows. Anyways, if you ask me once more after doing this Oli charade, well, Godzilla, I just love him in such a way because it helped me pull through one of the hardest moments in my life, and that's why I wanted to share this with y'all, just to let you know. It's been such an important part of my life, and I want you all to know that. Thank you for listening. Have a great day.
Okay, now. Thank you very much, Matias. And now, please welcome Antonella Rodas Farfán.
Have you ever heard the proverb, a friend in need is a friend indeed? Is it true? Well, a life without friends, the colorless reality we forget to fear. Did you ever truly stop to imagine what it would be like to not having friends? Good afternoon, members of the jury, students and teachers. My name is Antonella Yasmin Rodas, and today I would like to talk to you about the vital importance of friendship. To live in a world where your joys are not shared and your sorrows are carried alone, first of all, in my opinion, friendship are absolutely essential. Speaking for myself, I cannot imagine a life without my friends and the constant support they provide. They are the family we choose for ourselves. They are the people who make the good times better and the hard times bearable. Without their laughter and presence, life would lose its brightest colors. Studies like UNAM in Mexico and Harvard consistently show that having friends in our life is one of the most important pillars of human existence. Friendship provides us with emotional stability, reduces stress, and gives us a sense of belonging. The Harvard study of adult development, the longest study on happiness, proved that embracing community and quality help us live longer and be happier. Similarly, UNAM in Mexico, researchers have found that solid friendship is the bridge that connects our hearts to others. In short, friends don't just make us happy, they literally keep us healthy. But why is this the case? It is because friends help us see a different perspective on life. They are there when we need to talk about the people we like, offering advice and encouragement, and they stand by us to help us navigate that feeling. I want to invite you all to reflect on what friendship truly means. A friend is more than just someone to spend time with. They are the mirror that reflects the best version of ourselves in a world that can often feel lonely or overwhelming. Friendship is the bridge that connects our hearts to others. Please take a moment to value your friendship and recognize their immense importance in your journey. Never take for granted the people who make your world a little less heavy. And don't forget, call your friend. Thank you all for your attention, and thank you to my friends.
Thank you very much, Antonella, for talking about how essential friendship is in our lives. Now, please welcome Luciano Rodríguez Alarcón.
Hello, good afternoon, dear juries, audience, teachers, and classmates. I hope you are well. My name is Luciano Rodriguez, and who would like to study or work in a better and safe place? I think that everyone, right? But be careful with this because we must keep in mind that also education is a universal right that all people must receive, regardless of their appearance, age, nationality, gender, or sexual orientation. Even so, there are still abuse of power and discrimination that affects so many students inside and outside schools. First of all, we defend that everyone has the right to a safe, fair, and respectful education. But I want to show how abuse can affect students and why it is important to know our rights and the sanctions against abusers. To continue, education provides so many opportunities, and help to build a better future for us, for students. But the abuse or discrimination by some teachers or authorities can cause fear, insecurity, low academic performance, and even depression. In addition, knowing our rights and the sanctions against abusers can help so many students to know how to act and defend themselves from any type of discrimination or abuse. Also, in other countries, not all children enter education correctly. And everyone will be asking, why? For this type of abuse of power and discrimination. As a student, I obviously want my school to care about me, my safety, and my mental health. But I also want my school to care about and worry about my teachers and inspectors, because since the recent months, there have been several attacks by students on teachers and inspectors. That's so horrible. So, in conclusion, we must promote a whole school with more protection, safety, and empathy, so that no student will be suffer any type of discrimination or abuse. And remember, everyone has the right to report and to be supported in this type of unfair situations. Thank you so much for listening.
Thank you very much, Luciano, for addressing such an important issue. Now, please welcome our last speaker from Category 1. Welcome, Bárbara Rojas Droguet.
Hello, my name is Barbara. You know what? I'm going to talk about influencers. Okay, so we all know what an influencer is, right? Well, an influencer is someone with the ability to influence their audience, like you, to buy things like what skincare product bought this month, what video game is worth buying on Steam, or even how to be an influencer too. Have you seen that video? Because me? Yes. So, they show themselves digitally through social media like TikTok, Twitch, YouTube, Facebook, and really any others. In recent years, we see many good things about the influencers, but also bad things, such as cancellation due to grooming, like the case of YouTuber El Demente, or even abusing their team, like Yao Cabrera, or family, like Juan de Dios Pantoja. So, we think it's good? Nah, of course not. But, on the other hand, we see many good things about them, like Mr. Beast, who donated to people in need, who did challenge to earn money. And also Germán Garmendia, who donated to the Teletón. It was epic. But we need to remember something very important. They are people too. Like all persons do good things and bad things. So we can be that useful because we shouldn't justify them in any case, but they're persons. So we must remember not idealize them, because we have our vision outside of the screen, and this is what is matter. So, what are we talking about really? To the question again, I think it depends very much, because like I said, many people are good, but also do bad things. So, I think we should know that The responsibility is in us because we are the who are supporting them. Thank you very much for your attention, my dear audience.
Thank you to all students from Category 1 for their excellent presentations and commitment. Please, let's give them another round of applause. Now, we would like to ask you if you please can give us a few minutes before we continue, so that the judges can evaluate the participants from Category 1. Thank you very much.
of the jury, teachers, and audience. My name is Fernanda Pizarro, and I'm from 11th grade B. Today, I'll be talking about climate change. But first, I have a question for you. Will you sacrifice nature to create new tourist attractions? But wait, don't answer me yet. Climate change is a global problem that is affecting many countries, cities, and natural environments around the world. One example of this situation is Mahawal, a small coastal town known for its beautiful beaches, coral reefs, and marine life. Many tourists visit this place every year because of its natural beauty and peaceful environment. However, Mahawal is now facing an environmental problem because a large water park for tourists is planned to be built there. The project Perfect Day Mexico. Even though many local people do not support the project, the construction of this water park could harm local ecosystems. Animals such as fish, sea turtles, and birds depend on the reefs and the ocean to survive. If the project continues, natural habitat could be damaged and pollution could increase, affecting many species. Climate change is already causing higher temperatures, rising sea levels, and stronger storms. Places like Mahawal are especially vulnerable because they are really unhealthy ecosystems. Coral reefs are important because they protect the coast and provide shelter for marine life. If they are damaged, both nature and local communities could suffer. Many local residents and environmental groups oppose the project because they believe it mainly benefiting tourism companies. They think protecting nature is more important and want future generations to enjoy Mahawal without environmental damage. In conclusion, climate change is not only about weather changes, it is also related to how people use natural spaces. The situation in Mahawal shows the importance of making responsible decisions to reduce environmental damage and protect the future. So, I'm gonna ask you the initial question. Will you sacrifice nature to create new tourist attractions? Personally, I don't think so. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, Fernanda, for addressing such an important topic that is to protect our nature. Now, please welcome our next participant, Amaya Subieta Galleguillos.
Good afternoon, members of the jury and dear audience. My name is Amaya Subieta. I'm in the 3rd grade D, and today I'm going to talk about the social difference in Chile, an important problem that affects many people. Even though Chile is one of the developed countries in Latin America, there are still many inequalities between people in areas like education, healthcare, and the quality of life. The main idea of my speech is that the social difference in Chile creates an unfair system, creates injustice, and limits the opportunity of many people. One of the clearest examples of inequality in Chile is education. Some students study in private schools with modern classrooms, advanced technology, and fewer opportunities. Others who go to the public schools have recourse more limited. Even when students are equally talented and motivated, that they do not all have the same chance to success. This creates an unfair system when economic background can affect someone's future. Another important example is healthcare. People with higher incomes can often pay for private attention in a way quickly. Others who depend on the public services must wait weeks, months, even years for appointment, treatment, and surgeries. Healthcare should be able to everyone and not only for the person who can pay for it. In my reflection, we should not accept this difference as something normal, because it's not. Behind every statistic, there are real people with dreams and goals. Many work hard, but their opportunities are limited by circumstances they cannot control. In conclusion, we should not accept this as something normal. In my conclusion, I think that this is a big challenge. A country is not only measured by its economy, but how well it cares for all its people. Only when everyone has the same chance to succeed can Chile move forward and together. Thank you for listening. Casi.
Thank you so much, Amaya. Now, please welcome our next participant, Manuel Quispe Salas.
Dear members of the jury, their teachers, and their audience, my name is Manuel Quispe, and I'm from the 11th grade E, and today I'm going to talk about the addiction of technology that affects all of us. Technology addiction occurs when someone uses these electronic devices such as cell phones, computers, or video game consoles in an uncontrolled manner. Think about it. Have you ever seen a child throwing a tantrum because their phone or tablet has been taken away from them? Even here at school, we have seen our classmates get mad because their phones are taken away from them. Eventually, it's a law that prohibits the use of cell phones and personal communication on school grounds and during and after school activities. We must address and reduce the technology addiction due to its negative consequences on people's social and emotional well-being. Technology offers several advantages in education. Learning outcomes improve significantly thanks to the access to the vast amounts of information available online and the availability of the educational programs. However, even though technology is frequently used for the purpose, it can lead to isolation, a sedentary lifestyle, poor sleep habits, stress, and while also representing face-to-face communication and affecting the ability to read body language. Psychology addresses many aspects of the issue, since the ways these behavioral problems manifest, the service not solely due to technology. It also bears depending on the child's upbringing and the families in which they are raised. In the case of Kaylee, a girl with this addiction, during a trial, a jury determined that Google and Meta intentionally created these social media platforms that harmed her personal health, her mental health. Since the age of 6, she has been using social media, which has caused her personal harm, such as body dysmorphia and thoughts of self-harm. If we consider the long-term ethical implication, this is a reality we must face. Technology has evolved significantly to represent day and is present in every aspect of our lives. While it has its advantage, it also has its disadvantage. In my experience, I don't use technology much because I know to talking to other people and being mindful of my surroundings, it makes me happier. We need to be aware of the consequence of this addiction. Are you prepared to take the risk that comes with this addiction? Is it worth it? Thank you for your attention.
Thank you very much, Manuel. Now, please welcome our next speaker, Evan Navea Gamboa.
Good morning, good afternoon, members of the jury. Good afternoon, dear public. Have you ever wondered what it could be to have a magical robot who does everything for you? There isn't. But you may think there are, because today I'm talking about something everyone here knows, everyone here uses, and everyone here abuses of it. I'm talking about artificial intelligence, better known as AI. AI is one of the greatest inventions of our time. It can be a very helpful tool if we use it in the right way, but we don't. And everyone knows AI, ChatGPT, Gemini, Sora, Meta. So instead of introducing you something you already know, let's go already to an example. Let's say that in the same class, there are two students. Let's name them Jason and Everick. Both of them have the same work to do. Both of them have the same questions to answer, and both of them use an AI to do it. Jason got everything right, the maximum grade, but Eric didn't. He got everything wrong. Is it the AI's fault that Eric got all wrong? It isn't, because Eric could use his own knowledge to verify the AI answers, or he could do it by his own. But he didn't, because he relied too much on AI. Let's say that in the same class, there are two more students, Lucas and Francisco. Lucas and Francisco have the same work to do, have the same questions to answer, but they didn't use an AI. Francisco got everything right, the same grade as Jason, but Lucas didn't. Is it fair that Francisco and Lucas got the same grade or even a lower grade than Jason if they put their own knowledge, effort, and time to do this? If we see only the grade side, it isn't fair. But if we go beyond of that, Lucas and Francisco will know something that Jason don't. And if Jason still uses the AI the whole year, at the end, Lucas and Francisco will know a lot more than Jason. So, in conclusion, AI isn't the problem of this. It's how we use it, how we rely on it, and how we abuse of it. So you better ask to yourself, do I know how to use AI, or I'm losing myself in it? My name is Evan Navea. Thank you for your attention.
Thank you very, very much, Evan, for talking about such an important issue. Now, please welcome Jorge Norambuena.
Have you ever felt like you're not enough? Like you're falling behind everyone else and not accomplishing your academic goals? Good afternoon, members of the jury and dear audience. My name is Jorge Norambuena, a student from 11th grade E, and I will be presenting a very personal issue, academic pressure and how it affects a student's mental health. Academic pressure remains as a critical issue in our society, yet we hardly look into its roots. So, high grades are considered to be the only key to success by many people. Therefore, this constant stress really affects our mental health. Don't you think? Students feel under pressure from their academic workload they face because assessments are graded on a numerical scale. I believe that to mitigate the negative effects on students' mental health, they should be evaluated based on their achievements of specific goals. It is widely believed that numbers or numerical scales can accurately represent a student's capacity, but this idealization is flawed. When we only focus on getting perfect scores, the true purpose of learning is ignored. Sorry. In fact, compelling data has recently been uncovered, revealing that extreme expectations from academic establishments can lead to severe anxiety. And then, unhealthy coping mechanisms are often developed by teens who don't know how to handle these feelings. They tend to fall into a vicious cycle, overworking themselves just to seek approval from their parents and society. Critics might argue that numerical scales are necessary to motivate the students. However, what they fail to look at is that real motivation comes from personal progress, not from labels. So in conclusion, let's get rid of these labels. Let's focus on the progress, because progress makes you grow, and growth here is our main goal. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you very much, Jorge. Now, we continue with Category 2, but now we begin with the 4th grade high school students. Please welcome Liam Bruce Gutierrez.
So, no matter what, you will fail, and I will convince you of all of this. My name is William Bruce, and today we will talk about successes and our failures, and explain why failing is the most important part of winning. Good afternoon, members of the jury, audience, classmates, and of course, teachers. So, when we think about winning, we do think about sports, right? Such as football or anti-competitions. So let me tell you the story about O'Higgins Football Club and how their poor campaigns led them where they are now. So, in previous campaigns, as I remember. O'Higgins finished 11th in 2023 and 13th in 2024. We were almost relegated that year. But incredibly, like I could say, crazy thing is that in the next year, in 2025, we climbed to third place with 56 points. And now we are competing in the Sudamericana competition, international competition. So, what I mean with this is that if you want to win, you will fail in order to gain experience. So, as I said before, failing is the most important part of winning. But the most important part of failing isn't the failure itself. It's what you do about it. Ask yourself, what was I missing? How can I do it better next time? And what did I learn from my mistake or my failure? These three questions are your guides, and O'Higgins understood them and applied them. So now they are seeing the results on the pitch. In general, we have no method or strategy to keep us from failing. But what we do have is a method that makes us lose our fear from failing at the first try, when we do our first steps on anything. Failing is part of the process of achieving our objectives, of winning. Just ask any professional in the field. To summarize the main idea of my speech, is that if you want to win, if you want to achieve your objectives, if you want to succeed in life, you have to fail. You will fail. You will fail. Because failing is, well, you will not avoid it. So, that will be all. Thank you for your attention.
Actually, thank you very much, Lian, for sharing such an important message, that is that failing is part of the process. Now, please welcome our second speaker from 4th grade high school students. Please welcome Almendra Medina Ruiz.
Imagine for a moment feeling overwhelmed, with no desire to get out of bed, with constant anxiety and not being able to get help in time. For many people in Chile, this isn't a hypothetical situation. It's their daily reality. Hello, members of the jury, dear audience, and classmates. Today, my name is Almendra Medina, and today I'd like to talk about mental health. In Chile, mental health must be an urgent priority due to the increase in emotional problems and the lack of timely to psychological care. Today, more and more people, especially young people, are facing anxiety, depression, and stress. However, accessing to psychological or psychiatrists isn't always easy. Waiting lists in the public system are long, and in the private system, the costs are often very high. Furthermore, there is still a significant stigma. Many people feel ashamed to talk about what they're going through, or fear being judged, which further delays them seeking help. This not only affects individuals, but also their relationships, academic performance, and overall quality of life. If we as a society continue to ignore mental health, we are neglecting a fundamental aspect of human well-being. It's not just about feeling good, but about being able to live, learn, and connect in a healthy way. How can we move forward as a country? If we don't take care of the minds of the people who make it up, that's why it's urgent that mental health in Chile, by giving the importance it deserves, with greater access to care, more education of the subject, and safe spaces to talk. Taking care of the mental health is not a luxury, it's a necessity. Thank you for listening. Have a nice day.
Thank you for your words, Almendra. Now, please welcome Jared Bautista Jove.
Good afternoon, respected members of the jury and dear audience. My name is Jared. Today, I want to challenge a phrase we hear constantly. Do not judge. It sounds noble, but is it realistic? More importantly, is it safe? What if the capacity to judge is the very mechanism that keep us healthy, secure, and true to who we are? The ancient Greeks called this phronesis. In two simple words, practical wisdom. Our modern crisis is that we confuse two completely opposite concepts. On one hand, prejudice is a superficial, harmful reaction based on an arbitrary label. On the other hand, discernment is an active intellectual tool, the application of critical thinking to protect our well-being and honor our values. Psychology explains this confusion through our brain's architecture. As Daniel Kahneman proved, our minds run on two systems. System 1 is fast and instinctive, producing automatic shortcuts that lead to prejudice. System 2 is slow and deliberate, designed to review those shortcuts. The goal is not to silence System 1, but to train System 2 to check it. That conscious review is the cognitive antidote. Consequently, distancing yourself from harm is not hostility. It is a quiet act of self-preservation, A boundary built to protect your peace, your growth, and your principles. Carl Jung described this path as individuation, the courage to separate your mind from the crowd and live with integrity. Because having clear standards is not discrimination, it is wisdom. Do not let a loud culture shame you for having standards. Never, please, never forget this rule. Prejudice projects hostility. Discernment protects your peace. Know the difference. Live by it and climb your path. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Jared. Now, please welcome our next speaker, Constanza Gutierrez Alvarez.
Have you ever wondered how different the world would be if young people were in charge? Well, if you haven't, members of the jury, teachers, dear audience, my name is Constanza Gutierrez, and I'm going to talk and explain the benefits of involving young people and giving them a leading role in improving society. As you know, most key positions are held by older people who have an outdated or wrong view of how to lead. Since they think just because they are old, they have more knowledge and are smarter than young people or young generations in general. But they fail to consider that the fact that they grew up in a different era, one marked by more conflict, less equality, limited freedom of thought, and when you were punished of being different, has led them to adopt a much more closed mind, centralized, and non-inclusive ideology. One example of leadership is Julieta Martinez, who works on sustainability and equity. At just 22 years old, she's a highly influential Chilean activist. She created a collaborative platform called Tremendas, made up of young people who are making an impact across various pillars of sustainability. She is also an ambassador of the Ashoka Foundation, which recruits young people with ideas for change. She has been invited to conferences in Madrid, and is the only Latin American member of the Youth Task Force Beijing. Another great example is Boyan Slat, a Dutchman who, at the age of 16, founded the Ocean Cleanup, with the goal of developing technology to help remove plastic from the ocean. He has received a lot of awards, among the most notable of which are the Champions of the Earth Award, making him the youngest person in history to receive an ONU Environmental Award. The Index Award, which recognizes the science that improve quality of life globally, and was awarded to the Ocean Cleanup. He also received the Young Entrepreneur Award, presented by King Harald of Norway in the context of international maritime. In conclusion, examples like Julieta and Boyan show us that youth is not synonymous of inexperience, but rather with innovation and empathy. The world is changing at a rapid pace, and today's problems require new solutions.
It is not about replacing adults. It's about working together, creating real spaces where our voices are heard. Thank you for listening.
Thank you very much, Constanza, for addressing a new topic to this afternoon. Now, please welcome our next speaker, Agustina Segura Trujillo.
Mental health in schools. Good afternoon, members of the jury, dear audience, teachers, and classmates. My name is Agustina, and today I'm going to talk about mental health in schools. I will explain why is it important, how it affects students, and why schools can play an important role in supporting mental health. First of all, I would like to ask you a question. Have you ever felt stressed, anxious, or overwhelmed because of school? Many students experience these feelings at some point. Mental health is an important part of our lives because it affects how we think, how we act, and how we feel every day. Schools should be a place where students learn, grow, and feel safe. However, it can also be a source of stress. Exams, homework, grades, and expectations can create pressure. Some students may develop anxiety, low self-esteem, or even depression because they feel they are not good enough or are afraid of failing. Another important issue is bullying. When students are bullied, they can feel lonely, insecure, and unsupported. This can affect their both emotional well-being and their academic performance. Even though schools sometimes contribute to students' stress, they can also be a part of the solution. In my own experience, there have been moments when school affected my mental health because of pressure and responsibilities. However, I have also received support from teachers and school staff who listened to me and helped me when I needed it. This shows that schools can have both positive and negative effects, but they can also have the power of make a difference. For this reason, I believe that schools should provide emotional support, encourage open conversation about mental health, and create an environment where students feel respected and understood. When students feel supported, they are more motivated, confident, and ready to learn. To conclude, mental health is just as important as physical health. Students face many challenges, and schools have an important responsibility to support them. Even small actions such as listening, showing empathy, or offering help can improve someone's life. By taking mental health seriously, schools can create happier, healthier, and more successful students. Thank you for listening.
Thank you very much, Agustina. Now, please welcome our last, but not the least, speaker of the afternoon. Please welcome Constanza Yanten.
Dear members of the jury, teachers and audience,
My name is Constanza Yanten, and I'm here to tell you how the future is in our hands and how we can be true leaders. I'm gonna ask you something. Have you ever had an incredible idea, but people haven't taken you seriously because of your age? Right? On many occasions, I have had to watch as my dreams and those of my classmates are dismissed as mere fantasies because of our age. We want to be leaders, and we have prepared ourselves since we were children. This is why it is crucial not only to comprehend the importance of giving young people the opportunity to become leaders, but also the right tools to take this role with full confidence and responsibility. Many people believe that today's youth don't care about the future, but that's completely wrong. According to a study by INYU, more than half of Chilean youth participate in social organizations. This demonstrates that our generation is motivated to participate as leaders. We want to make real change, and we have the energy to do it. However, this potential is constantly limited. It is limited when the adults don't take our ideas seriously, or when they say the youth aren't prepared to participate as leaders, they are immature. But how we will get mature if these people don't allow us to live this experience? Leadership is not about just giving orders or doing the work alone because others want. Leader means empathy, respect, and lead. It means learn how to listen, how to delegate, and how to inspire your entire team to stay motivated. Small changes in how we communicate today will build the leaders Chile needs tomorrow. Leadership is not a title you receive, it's a choice. So you decide if you want to make changes and be the leader you want to be. If we don't take the initiative to be a leader today, who is the future of our country going to depend on? Let's make changes, communicate, and work together, and show the leaders we can be. Thank you very much.
Ladies and gentlemen, we have now reached the end of the presentation stage of the Public Speaking Competition 2026. Today, we have witnessed much more than English presentations. We have seen confidence, preparation, creativity, critical thinking, and the courage to communicate ideas in front of an audience. On behalf of North American College, we would like to thank our judges, school authorities, teachers, parents, and students for making this event possible. A special thank you to Ms. Jimena Figueroa San Martin, Mr. Cristian Fontanes Lara, and Ms. Julia Goroskova for their valuable collaboration and commitment to education. At this moment, our jury will begin the deliberation process to determine the winners in each category. While the jury is deliberating, we invite everyone to remain seated and enjoy the next part of our program. Thank you very much. The results for our panel of judges are clear. The time for deliberation has passed, and we must continue with this event. To conclude this competition, we will invite all the participants of the Public Speaking Competition 2026. We are very proud to know that our students have prepared and worked, practicing during the afternoons to reach this stage and to represent today not only their school, but also their class and family. We invite Ms. Jimena Figueroa, who was part of our jury today, to this stage to present our students with their certificate of participation. We thank her very much for joining us during this day. We invite the following students to the stage: Antonia Jofre Ahumada, Felipe González Soto, Nadia Díaz Correa, Benjamín Silva Cerda, Javiera Barros Salvador, Tiare Babrestrello Munizaga, Fernanda Garrido López, and Eleunei Vargas. Please give them another round of applause. Thank you very much. You might go back to your seats. You can go back to your seats. Now, let's continue with second graders. Please come Naim Meri Díaz, Constanza Castro Marca, Matías Cerda Villarroel, Antonella Rodaz Farfán, Luciano Rodríguez Alarcón, and Bárbara Rojas Droguet. This competition would not be possible without our judge, Jimena. On behalf of everyone here, we extend our sincere thanks for your crucial role. Please join in us in congratulating Jimena as we present with the certificate. Thank you so much. No, pero es que solamente llamamos. Thank you very much. You might go back to your seats. Now we invite Mr. Cristian Fontanés, who was part of our jury today, to this stage to present our students with their certificate of participation. We thank him very much for joining us during this day. We invite the following students to the stage: Fernanda Pizarro Poblete, Amaya Subieta Galleguillos, Manuel Quispe Salas, Evan Navea Gamboa, and Jorge Norambuena. Please give them all a round of applause. You might go back to your seats. Now, let's continue with Lian Bruce Gutierrez, Almendra Medina Ruiz, Jared Bautista Jove, Constanza Gutierrez Álvarez, Agustina Segura Trujillo, and Constanza Yantén.
Pónganse más adelante todos.
Thank you very much. Students, you can go back to your seats. This competition would not be possible without our judge, Christian. On behalf of everyone here, we extend our sincere thanks for your crucial role. Please join us congratulating Christian in a loving round of applause. Now, we invite the jurors to come up to the stage. If you please can give us some words or some kind of a speech for our participants. Thank you.
¿El podio?
Hello, hello. Good evening, everybody. I'm really happy to see you all here, and we are really honored to be here because, it's such a great experience to hear and see students that are so eloquent, so fluent in English, and are exploring their topics in such depths that it just blows your mind. We are really fascinated to be here, to hear all these truths, to agree with them. It was really tough for us to judge, especially that topic just blew me off. It was really hard to judge you because you're all awesome, you're all amazing. All this time and dedication that you spent on preparing your topics, all this stamina and nerve to be here on the stage presenting in front of everybody, that's really amazing. And we want to thank you for that. And we hope you do the best in your lives with the use of English language. Thank you.
Hi, I want to thank the teachers, Teacher Gonzalo, of course, and the school for inviting us. It is always a pleasure to be part of something so important and so significant for students. We could tell that you spent many, many hours practicing, studying, because you all did a wonderful presentation. The topics were really hard. The vocabulary was challenging, but you did it greatly. We loved your energy, we loved your deliverance, your pronunciation, your stage abilities, so keep it up, keep practicing, because you will have a bright future ahead. Thank you.
Good evening, everyone. Thanks for the invitation first to the English department. I'm really glad to be here and really impressed as well. It was a very difficult decision, but I have to say that please don't forget that speaking English is a win, and speaking English in public is a double win. So I think that's really important. Keep it up, because you will be brilliant in the future. Thank you.
We invite to the stage Miss Julia, who was part of our jury today, to award the students who have achieved outstanding results in this competition. To kick off our awards tonight, we would like to recognize an outstanding entry that truly stood out. Let's welcome Honorable Mention in first and second graders category. May I say it? Okay. Our honorable mention in second graders category and first graders is for Constanza Castro. Thank you very much, Constanza. And now, the honorable mention in third and fourth graders category goes to Evan Navea. Now, moving to our top 3 finalists, let's invite into this stage, in third place in first and second category, graders category, Mr. Matias Cerda. Now, the third place in third and fourth graders is for Constanza Yanten. The competition was incredibly close, but this next award goes to an exceptional achievement. Let's invite the winner of the second place of these first and second graders. Please, let's give a warm round of applause for Fernanda Garrido. Thank you. Now, let's invite the winner of the second place of the third and fourth graders. Please welcome Jared Bautista. Sorry. Thank you very much, Jared. Okay, now the moment we've been all waiting for. The winner of the first and second graders category. Please welcome to the stage Antonia Jofre. Thank you very much, Antonia. Now, the winner of the third and fourth graders category. Please welcome to the stage to Constanza Gutierrez Álvarez. Thank you all very much, and thank you, Miss Julia, for your help. Thank you very much to everyone present for participating and staying in this important activity. not only for our school, but also for our students and our families. Have an excellent afternoon.